You're listening to the Convo.
What's up, y'all? I'm your boy Kato. That's Mav, and welcome to the Convo at 92. Y'all, we back. This is episode
Yes,
92,
sir.
man. I know we've been gone for a little bit, but we had some stuff going on. But anyway, what's been going on with you, man? How you doing?
Damn, boy, we pushing a century already, bro.
Yeah.
That's what's up, man.
Excuse me.
Bless you, bless you. That's what's up. That's what's up. You know what? After we hit 100, bro, we need to go ahead and start, season 2 of Mav and Kato, and we just reset it back to another 100. We go.
Exactly. And just keep that motherfucker going, man. So, man, let's go ahead on and jump off in these topics, man. First thing I want to talk about, bruh, I want to talk about Jussie Smollett, kid. I want to talk about how far should you take a lie? Because I don't know, man. Jussie is really acting like he didn't do this shit, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though they got all of that evidence, you know what I mean? They got the text messages, they got the dudes that, that flipped on him, told him exactly what's happening. They got all of this information. Dude, he's still like claiming his innocence, bro, saying he ain't do the shit. Like, how deep should you go with a lie before you just say, you know what, man? Fuck it, man. Y'all got me. For real, bro.
Man, first and foremost,
seriously,
bro, I really don't know what to say really about that. Real quick, Mike, can you hear us?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's going on, Mike? This is my brother Kato. Kato, this
doing,
my boy
man?
Mike.
What's going on?
Yeah.
Red and Gold from Red and Gold 247. Appreciate you joining us tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right now, the first topic we're talking about is Jussie Smollett. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the whole case or how that's going on your end, because it should be close to home for you, right?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of followed it. When it all went down, I was a huge fan of Empire.
Okay.
I went to the show. Then that happened, and honestly, I lost respect for him. It's hard to say what was going through his mind or what's going on with it, but I don't know, man.
It's crazy because I watched the interview with him, and like, dude, he's still trying to like maintain his innocence, bro. He is really saying he didn't do this shit.
Within that interview, though, okay, first off, if you're the one that's being accused, you gotta retain, your innocence some way, somehow. Right. You have to believe in yourself that you're innocent.
But at what point do you say, you know what, man, damn, y'all got all the evidence they got, you know what I mean? The dudes that told on them, the text messages, like all the evidence they got that point towards you're lying about this whole thing. At what point do you say, you know what?
I mean, the man got me. First off, I didn't even know he was in the business 30 years, bro. That's big shock.
I mean, well, you're talking about a big family. You know, Journey Smollett, right?
Not familiar.
Yeah, she was the one that was on what was the old show with Danny Tanner? She was on.
But he actually been within the industry for 30 years, like
I know he was on
writing behind the scenes.
Show or something like that.
I didn't know that. Like, I didn't even know he was on Alien, bro. Like, for real.
Right.
Like, really?
Right.
You on Alien?
Mm-hmm.
But he's a writer, he's a director. I mean, he has that kind of background. So he also said if he was to put something together, it wouldn't be for that.
Right.
I mean,
exactly.
I can't sit there and say yes, it would or wouldn't, but dude, I mean, in so many ways, to me, you're kind of pinning yourself in the corner even more by even telling people about that background. Those of us who didn't already know about that entire background. For me, that's just how I look at it. But at the same time, I mean, who am I to say he's guilty or not until everything comes out?
Well, I'm not going to say he's guilty, because I don't know. And as far as everything coming out, they don't bust that case wide open. They said he was guilty. Remember, they put him in jail for like 6 days.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he was guilty.
But he got a new project coming out now, though.
He got a new movie coming out.
Yeah, so I mean, he's still working, he's still doing things. So he couldn't have been that damn guilty if he's not canceled. So you feel me? So
no, it really just come down to who messing with you. That don't matter.
I think he kind of is still kind of canceled. This movie's coming out is some independent movie that he did on his own.
Right, that he put his own money up for and everything.
Yeah, like studios don't want to touch him. Like this whole thing killed his career.
Yeah, I can see.
I mean, if this movie pans out and do good, he doesn't need a studio anymore. I mean, he still has fans. That's pretty much the main thing he needs, right?
I mean, if he can keep a fan base, then yeah, he can independently push films. That can happen now.
Yeah, so I mean, I wish him the best of luck with that.
True that, you know what I'm saying? I ain't saying that I don't never want the man to work again, you know, but I mean, you know, you do the crime, you got to do the time. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I guess he did his little 6 days or whatever, you know.
At least he's not being Monique. You feel me? You got canceled and now you back into the game and now you about to be canceled again. I mean, for your stupidity. So at least he's not being that. But
well, you know, I don't know what's going on with Monique. I personally like Monique. You know what I'm saying? I like what Monique stands for because her whole thing is she just want to make a way for the next generation and make sure she paving the way for the next generation. And she want to make sure the pay scales are right for the next generation. So, you know, I understand all of that. I don't think she's going about it the right way. You know what I'm saying?
It's her attitude.
I understand. Exactly. It's something going on with the attitude and the way that she's going about it. But I'm on her side. I understand, you know, with the plight that she's going for.
What do you say, Mike?
Don't know anything on that one. I didn't really hear what was going on with her.
Well, remember, she was the one that was she was suing Netflix because she was saying it was gender bias.
Oh,
yeah. So
I mean, when you got to kind of look at who's getting the deals with Netflix. Plenty of women are getting deals with Netflix. They're funny. I don't think Nick's funny, and she's not relevant. The deals that Netflix has been giving out is to relevant comedians who's selling out clubs now. Monique, I haven't heard of Monique since when the CW was the WB, and I think she had a show on there.
When she had I guess she had the Parkers, right?
Yeah. I mean,
but she's done. You know, she does have a resume that speaks for itself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But in this business, it's always what have you done for me lately?
Exactly. And I mean, she has been relevant for a very long time. For her to even get approached, because I think they were giving her a deal, just wasn't mega bucks that these superstar comedians are getting. For her to have that ego thinking that she deserves Kevin Hart money when she's not selling out stadiums like Kevin Hart, just a little conceited.
I can see that.
Take the deal, go do a special for Netflix. Maybe it revitalizes her career. And she does get to that level where she can command the money that she thinks she can command now.
Right.
But that's the thing, though. She was on the verge of revitalizing her career. She just, whatever is happening now between her and DL, even her own sister came out and spoke against her. Like, she needs to stop. So I'm not sure exactly what's going on that beat, but like she's closing the door right back into her face. They just pretty much kind of left open for her a little bit.
Yeah, I just feel like she's not going about it the right way. I think you can fight for certain things, but you don't have to do it in the malicious way that she's doing it. It's almost like, what are you actually fighting for at this point? You know what I mean? Now, you do know that the whole Netflix thing is settled. You know, nobody knows the optics. It's whatever happened behind closed doors, but that whole thing is settled now. She's no longer suing Netflix.
Well, since you talking about mentioning fighting, let's jump into the next subject, Roe versus Wade. Okay. What are your thoughts on that, fellas?
Honestly, man, you know what? My thoughts on that is I don't think it's fair that, you know, people are sitting around taking a woman's rights, you know what I mean? Like, to do what they feel like they need to do. You know, I think it's pretty messed up that they actually overturned that person.
100%. This has gotten to a point where there's always supposed to be a separation between church and state, right?
Yeah.
Getting to a point now where the really right-wing side of the Republicans, the far right, they're trying to set policies based off their religious beliefs, which isn't right. We all have different beliefs, and to start setting laws and policies based off one person's beliefs just doesn't sit well.
Right.
I think that we're just on a slippery slope. This getting reversed is just going to open the door for other rights to be taken away. It's just, it's scary. This is something that set a precedent, and it's the majority of America is for the right to choose. Republican, Democrat, Independent. I think it's like 75% of people polled, no matter what your political affiliation is, they still believe that there's should be a choice.
Right, exactly.
You may not agree with the practice, but you still think that the choice is there. It's just there's so much shadiness when you break it down. Like these justices under oath said that they wouldn't even consider overturning it, because that was a big thing of contention of, hey, if we nominate these people, we want to make sure that certain things are going to stay into place. So they lied under oath to get what they wanted, and it's bad. But I mean, the Democrats too, they need to step up and need to get this thing put into law before anything worse happens. But I think this is going to be a turning point where I know the midterm elections in November were already a big deal, and the Republicans are hoping that they're going to get seats and retake some of the stuff. But I think they shot themselves in the foot with this one. I think a lot of people are going to go out and vote now, try and keep the rights. I mean, it's scary to think at this point that guns have more rights in this country than a woman. Like, that's pretty
messed up. For sure.
It's scary. I was on Twitter when it first got overturned, and I saw one of the best pictures at one of these protests where a woman is holding up a sign saying, if you don't like abortions, ignore it like you do school shootings. And that hit hard. I was like, wow, that's a wrong statement, because it's true.
Right.
Bro, that's a slap just to say that.
Yeah.
Even thinking about it, bro. Like, first off, you already know, Kato, I'm big against guns, bro. Like, I feel like we shouldn't even own any kind of gun. Only people that should own gun are law enforcement, to me. Honestly, that's my opinion. I'm gonna stick by it. It is what it is. But I'm be one to tell you that I'm against abortion. But I'm not against you making your decision.
Exactly.
That's one thing about it.
Because let's look at it this way, right? I think people are only looking at it. And trust me, I'm against abortion too. But at the same time, let's look at it like this. You know, a husband and wife are having sex because that's what they're supposed to be doing. You see what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden, you know, a condom pop, and now all of a sudden your wife get pregnant. But what if
there's a law for that shit? There's a law against that too. It's funny that you mentioned husband and wife, because I was, while looking at going through little researches for that whole for this whole thing, just trying to refresh my mind. It's a law against that. It's like a privacy law. Of course it is. You know, it's between a husband and wife, or what, boyfriend, girlfriend, whoever you may be to one another at that moment in time. If you get a girl pregnant, then it's your decision ultimately, like between the both of you, not just one. Right. You know, like, again, like I said, I'm against abortion, but if I go out there and get a female pregnant, dude, it's on me to step up. Right. You know, and I have to convince her that I'm going to be there for that child. I'm going to be there to help her with everything that she needs when it comes to that child. I mean, but what if I'm going to be there and not be there? What if y'all sit down as a team and decide, you know what, we're not ready to have kids. We're not in that space yet. And not to mention, y'all were using protection. You know what I mean? It just happened to fail on you that day. Now, see, should you have to have a child, even though y'all both are saying, you know what, we're not ready for a child? Put it this way. I was asked this question. Instead of answering your question, I was asked this question. What if a woman got raped? Right. Now, this is me. Again, I'm against abortion, but ultimately that's her decision. The only thing I would say to this woman is, it's a tragic that how it happened to you, but remember, everything happens for a reason, and there's a reason everything happens. Now, it's bad as it may seem and it may sound, that seed that you're carrying might be a difference in the future. And I understand all that, but I personally don't think that a woman should have to relive that trauma. And you having a child from being raped by somebody you didn't have sex with because that's what you wanted to do. How fair is that to make her relive that every day? But that's the thing though. Now you taking away the rights. I get that point. But what what I'm telling this woman is that look at this as a miracle, as a joy, even though it was fucked up the way it happened to you. Yeah. But that little seed right there could be the very difference that we need in the future to change this world, to change this planet. You see what I mean? Because
you can look at it like that as well. You have a blessing, right?
Right. You have to try to look at all the negative as a positive, even though it's traumatic. It might take you to a stage, but at the same time, that's the things you don't ask God to take you away from whatever situation. You ask God to help you, give you the strength to power through the situation. That's the only way you'll ever really learn, to me, and mature into a better person in such a way. That's how I view things. Because if I'm asking God to take away the situation has a bigger chance of coming back and hit me 10 times harder, instead of me trying to power through it and learning through it and making sure that I have the right experience and skills to make sure it never happens again.
My thing is, why do the Supreme Court want so much control? Like, literally, if I'm not wanting to have a child, why is it your choice to say I have to have a child or not?
I'll let you take this one, Mike.
I mean, this one is it's getting to a point where government just overstepping bounds. Where does it stop? They're already talking about now looking into the issue of gay marriage. They're looking into laws about contraception. Not only do they want to take that choice away, they want to stop you from even stopping a baby from being conceived. It's like they want sex just be there for the point of making babies.
Okay, so now, fellas, since we kind of stepped into a new realm, now my question is, does this stop the running around, the cheating, the having the side kids? Like, is this gonna stop?
Hell no.
No.
Is this gonna affect that? There's no more abortions, kid. Already you can't get a plan B.
Hey,
plan B's are off the shelf.
Listen, Mr. Government, y'all out there listening, if there's no more abortion, y'all need to up my EIC, my earned income credit, and my child credit. You feel me? Like, for real. So I'm about to have a boatload of babies out there right now. Y'all, hey.
Right. For real.
It's just becoming a scary thing out there. I mean, there's states too that are going to try and pass laws to stop women from traveling to states where it's going to be legal.
Exactly.
And that in itself is against the Constitution.
Why are they trying to have so much control over that?
It is our right to travel to other states. And every states have their own different laws, and it's our right to travel to those states, obey those laws of those states, and then go back to our home state and not be prosecuted for anything we did in those other states. It's a slippery slope that just it's scary to think about where we're going to be.
I am so glad that you said something about different laws in different states, because I remember an episode that we spoke about that, and I told you how I felt about that, right, Kato?
As far
about the different laws. Why can't we all be governed under one set of law? Because I mean, if you're talking about this as a country, I understand, like, maybe street laws or something like that might be slightly different because of different, where you at. Like, you could be on a mountain somewhere, like in Georgia, I get it, or it could be icy somewhere, I get that. But as far as like a general law that we all abide by, like, if I get pulled over in Florida, I should be able to get the same damn ticket I would get in Georgia or something like that. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So if whatever charge it is, if I catch it in the United States, it's in the United States. Because now, because remember back in the days, you used to get your license suspended in Florida, you go to Georgia and get a damn license, and you come back and you driving.
Right, exactly.
Like, I'm so serious. So, but then they want to do a whole nationwide thing. So, no, we got to search. What then? You know what? Just change the whole damn law. Just make one big law to where we all get governed under. Right. And I'll be fine with it. Because now I know I can go to Georgia or Tennessee and not worry about these cops being racist to me or something, or me getting pulled over just because I'm from Florida. Like, dude, I've been in that situation before. Mm-hmm. You see what I mean? Just because my laws back home are very different. Mm-hmm. I have to take time to understand these laws out there in Georgia. If I don't study them bitches before I get to Georgia, right, I'm fucked.
Well, that's like in Georgia, it's like open carry. You know what I mean? They just walk around with guns out there. But like if you go to like New York or like New Jersey, bruh, don't get caught with no gun in New York or New Jersey. Your ass might do 5 years.
And see, it shouldn't be like that. It's like Texas. We have, what do we have down here for death penalty? 10, we only got death penalty, right? It's 10, 20 life.
I mean, we got 10, 20 life. They got death penalty.
But what is it? Death penalty is what, 15 years in Florida? If I'm not mistaken, in Texas, within 5 years, if you facing death row, they kill your ass within 5 years.
What if new evidence come up and they find out you didn't do it? That's pretty screwed up.
If it comes up after 5 years, then what are they gonna do? You think they finna announce it?
Damn, that's pretty messed up. But yeah, I just don't understand why the Supreme Court want to have their hands in everything. Like, why should you be able to make the choice on whether me and my wife have a child or not? What if we decide we don't want to have kids right now? That should be our choice, not yours. For real.
Keep your dick in your pants and her legs closed.
No, hell no. That's my wife. That's my wife. I'm supposed to do that with her.
Nigga, the chances of you having a baby are far greater.
But like I said though, I guess a lot of people gonna have to start looking at things and understand, hey, you can't just be going around having casual sex with everybody because you don't never know what might happen. Every person you lay down with got the potential to be, your child's mom.
Yeah.
For real.
Let's be honest though, isn't that how it's always been? Every person you lay down with since you started having it has a potential to be baby mama.
You're right. You're right. But at the same time, there was different contraceptives and you ain't have to. I mean, don't get me wrong. You had to think about it. But at the same time, somebody might be like, hey man, just
Mike, do me a favor.
Go and take a plan B.
Do me a favor, Mike. Can you look at the abortion rate for the past 10 years? Because I'm pretty sure it has dropped tremendously, bro. I don't think nobody's killing babies no more.
I don't know.
Dude, the sad thing is all these politicians are creating these laws and trying to control us.
Yeah.
All the mistresses they have and all the cheating they're doing.
Exactly.
Okay. Exactly.
Right.
Got illegitimate kids out there and shit.
Exactly.
Okay.
Hey man, let's go ahead and switch this thing up, man. So I'm gonna let you go ahead and lead off on this, man, because I know that you watched that versus, man. I checked it out too, but I want to know what you thought about it.
I know Mike probably don't know what we're talking about
I don't know what this is about.
I know he knows a little hip hop though, and I'm pretty sure he knows who Ray J is and who Sammy is.
Right. Okay.
So you remember Ray J's song "One Wish," right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So there's a little thing Timbaland and Swizz Beatz has been doing since COVID. It's called Versus, to where it brings legendary hip hop artists and R&B together to battle one each other to like who wins the crowd over and such.
Right.
So a couple weeks ago was Ray J and Sammy. Apparently Ray J called Sammy up in Pleasure P and invited them to battle him and can't remember who was with Bobby Valentino.
Right.
And they're doing their little thing, but Sammy got a little disrespectful. Started singing Ray J's "One Wish" in front of Ray J.
Hey, but be honest though, now Sammy sound better than Ray J now.
I mean, bro, Ray J gave the man his flowers. Ray J told the man, bro, if the man sounded horrible, I would have been told him to shut the hell up about my damn song. But
hey, but Ray J also did say y'all just mad because y'all don't own y'all hits. So
that's true too. But what made it even funnier to me, bro, is that he kept going.
Yeah,
he kept singing it
to the baby's boy. To the baby's boy.
Ray J got so upset to the point to where, like, man, you keep singing my shit, you gonna see a different me up. But like, dude, my question is, even though someone tells you it's okay to use their whatever you want to call it, their work, right?
Yeah.
Do you keep going antagonizing them and just disrespect them? I mean,
I think the reason why they was doing that is because they did know that they sang better.
That's fine. You did it once. I'm cool with that, but you kept going on.
Like you said, they was being really disrespectful though, kid. For real.
I mean, Mike, what do you do in that situation if that's you?
I mean, you gave him the permission, right?
No.
Okay, they just
no.
Okay.
What I mean by giving someone their flowers is meaning that okay, you did your thing.
Props, yeah.
Yeah, I give you props.
Right.
But
exactly.
Sammy just kept going on and on and on.
and that's because he knew that he could sing the song better than him.
It's like picking the scab off the wound. You just keep like poking. You poking the bear, you're gonna get the claws.
Yeah. But you know what, too, though? I want to apologize to Mario, man, because you know I thought Omarion was going to slaughter Mario, kid, but Mario held his own, bro, and you know they saying he actually won.
Listen, man, Mario is no slouch, bro. But
Mario ain't no slouch at all, kid.
I could hit you with this though. If I have one wish.
Can I just say that Ray J is the guy that finds a way to stay relevant for the stupid
always, kid. Ray J's gonna stay relevant.
He seems to be in the news like every couple months. It's always for the dumbest shit.
You know, Ray J runs a really big tech company called Raycon Global, and you know they're doing tremendous numbers with that.
At one point, he owned Death Row. The keys was handed to him.
Yeah,
really?
He has a lot to do with Death Row, and if I'm not mistaken, Snoop got it now, right?
Snoop got it now, but see,
Ray J,
him and Suge Knight like best friends.
No, Suge. Apparently, from my understanding, Suge has nothing to do with it. He handed over to Ray J. It's an article about that. But
no. Snoop, I understand that, but I'm saying him and Ray J like best friends.
Oh yeah. Ray J been running around for Death Row for years. I mean, he was about like what 12, 13?
Right. He was a youngin' doing that.
Yeah, he was the one who snitched on Tupac and Faith. Yeah, he literally went back talking about some. Oh, I see your girl sitting on Pop Slap.
Allegedly, because I don't know nothing about that.
He said it himself. He was a kid, so you got to excuse him for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, bro.
He's been stirring the pot for a long time, man.
Yeah. But you know what I liked about the whole Omarion? Because like I said, I thought Omarion was going to slaughter Mario because you think Omarion, you think B2K, you think that Scream tour and how big that was. I thought Omarion was
all that crap.
Kill it, bro. But Omarion didn't control the audience. Like he didn't command the microphone like Mario did. Like Mario controlled the whole thing, bro. He really did a good job.
Man,
Mario really did a good job.
We just a friend.
For real. Ooh. And I didn't know he had as many hits as he did. Like I said, I owe him a big apology.
Who did braid my hair? He did braid my hair, didn't he?
You know, I think he did. Yeah.
Won't you please braid my hair? Yeah,
I think he did.
Listen, Mario, man,
Mario got some hits, bro, and I didn't even realize he had that many hits, though.
It's not that many people that can come from a group and go solo and actually be a hit. I mean, with the exception of someone like Justin Timberlake. And who else can I really say? Oh, Christina Aguilera. Well, she was part of the.
She was always solo.
Huh?
She was always solo.
Yeah, she was part of the Mickey Mouse Club first. Her and Justin. And
Beyonce from Destiny's Child being solo.
Now you know what I want to know. I want to know your real opinion about Destiny's Child. Who was better, Kelly Rowland or Beyonce?
Oh, Kelly. I think Beyonce's. I know I'm for this. I think Beyonce's trash. I think she's overrated.
What about musically though? Musically, you don't like Beyonce?
No.
I understand. I mean, I get it.
Okay, there's an interview I seen with Tank was part of that interview, and he broke it down. He was like, Kelly, he had a song with Kelly Rowland, and when she was in the studio and she hit her notes for the first time he's ever worked with her, he then realized that Destiny's Child was centered to make Beyonce famous and forget about the rest.
Yeah.
But you know, they do that. They put groups together and do that all the time and push one person out, you know, and put all the fame to that one person.
You can do all that, but like you couldn't overlook Kelly, bro. Like you really couldn't.
No.
She was super talented.
Yes.
I thought she was better in that group. Did you see Omarion called the rest of B2K his backup dancers?
Exactly. Yeah.
He's been doing that for years.
Right.
it's just like Pleasure P talking about some. I'm Pretty Ricky. I wrote
all them songs, which could be true. You know,
dude. I refuse to believe that one member out of 4 wrote every song for that group.
Nah, man, that can definitely happen. Remember,
not saying it couldn't happen, but dude, come on now. You can't sit there and tell me that them boys didn't put 1 or 2 lines up in there.
They might have threw a line here or there, but Pleasure might have wrote all them songs, kid. Straight up.
Bro, how many times?
Might have been the one that sat down and wrote them.
A lot of those manufactured bands have ghostwriters. They just perform what's given to them.
Yeah. How many times you and I have sat down, come up with a song, and we co-wrote it?
But see, this the thing about it though, right? You can't say something like that and think people not gonna fact check it. I think the reason why Pleasure wrote those songs, he know people gonna fact check that, and ain't nobody came out and said nothing.
I'm just saying. If any one of those members from Pretty Ricky even gave Pleasure P 1 bar, that's a co-writer. He didn't write the whole song.
Yeah, he still was a part of it. I agree.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, you might not be able to prove that.
Right.
He knows, they know. But I mean, to say that I wrote the entire career of Pretty Ricky, I don't want to really believe that. I'm not gonna say I hate to believe it. I just don't want to believe that.
I mean, Pretty Ricky has some really big records. So if he did write those records, then I mean that's a success within his own.
So you're trying to tell me that those guys, those other members, have nothing to do with any one of those lyrics?
I mean, they might have something to do with like the beat process. They might have something to do with, maybe the melodies or something like that. But
that's the whole song.
The lyrics might have came from Pleasure. You feel what I'm saying?
I get you.
Yeah, it could have been it could have been a collective process. He didn't say he made the beat. He didn't say he made the full song. He said, I wrote the song.
So Mike, do you believe that? Do you believe out of all those years that group been out that nobody in that group helped write one song, even said a couple words here and there?
There's no way. I mean, there's got to be. They gave him an idea. They said something in casual conversation.
They threw something now and then. Yeah, I can see that.
There's something collaborative. There's no way that all these guys just sat back there and they gave nothing to the group.
Right.
It's like saying that, bro, you writing everything. I'm just sitting here going, I'm just gonna go over your shit and you're gonna tell me exactly how to put it together. I'm just gonna be there. That so therefore, like, my skills are not really showing. Everything is you. That's what you're telling me.
I mean, but some people be just performers. You feel me? So what if the other 3 group mates are just performers and Pleasure is the one that writes the music? You feel what I'm saying? You still contribute to the group, but maybe you ain't writing no songs.
It's like saying NWA. Dre wrote all that. That's pretty much what you're saying. Now, he might have wrote.
You're talking about people that we know that can write music. I don't know anything about Slick, Spectacular, or Baby Blue writing no music. I ain't heard nothing about that.
But that's just my point exactly, though. I'm talking about people we know versus people we don't. Now, these people that we know have shown us that not just one person is gonna run an entire group like that and without no one else's input. So therefore, because of I know that knowledge, I'm gonna take that and implement it to these people that I don't know, and pretty much trying to match it. Like, I refuse to believe that nobody else in that group had any kind of talent besides just showing up.
I mean, you're right. I can understand that, and like I said, they probably threw a line in every now and then, like you said, like, if you sitting down, and even if Pleasure P is writing the music, but you throwing him a line saying, hey, say this, hey, maybe you should say this, or oh, this sound better, then yeah, you're contributing to that song.
Now, you know what? Now you guys have just brought up a question into my mind right now, as far as like talking about Beyonce and these different groups. I wonder how many songs exactly Beyonce wrote herself.
I don't think she's wrote a song.
Yeah, but
I don't think she did either.
I think Beyonce is the kind that has had the ghostwriters and has had everything written for her. Yeah, she has a voice. She can sing. I'll give her that. But I don't think she's been writing songs.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
I don't know.
That's a hard question.
She could be in that room, when the music's getting composed. You know what I'm saying? Like when they sit down writing the song, and she probably get with writers, and and they all sit down and put a song.
Well, no, we're talking about now.
I'm not sure what she write.
Now that is one thing that we have all done, if from all facts when it comes to writing, even if it's music, poetry, essays, whatever. Right. We have all wrote at least 1 or 2 pages ourselves with no help. Now that I can agree with. The question is, do you believe Beyonce has actually sat down, wrote something herself and recorded it and is a hit today?
I definitely do. I'm not going to say everything she hit out the park, but I guarantee you Beyonce writes some of her music. I'm not going to say all of it because number one, she ain't got time to write all of it. You feel what I'm saying? But she definitely writes some of her music.
I mean, I'm pretty sure she has written something, but it's just have this weird feeling because you got to think about it. Destiny's Child, bro. Most of that song when they first coming out was written by Wyclef and other ghostwriters. And then you had Kelly who wrote her own shit. You had LaToya who wrote her own shit. Latavia who wrote her own shit. Even Michelle who wrote her own shit. And
I don't even remember the other 2 you just named. I remember Michelle.
Yeah, but LaToya and Latavia was the first 2 members before Michelle.
Yeah.
And think about it. She had Neo write a couple hits for her.
Right.
So it's been
he wrote the big song that blew up for her.
Yeah. So you got to think about all these big names that's been surrounding Beyonce as far as like writing music for her behind the scenes, bro. So it makes you wonder, like, what songs have you actually wrote yourself, recorded, and that's a hit today that we all know?
I mean, I don't think it's many superstars that sit down and write their own music, though.
No.
Bruh. We can tell the ones who write their own songs.
I mean, okay, so like Anthony Hamilton, he writes his music. You know what I mean? Neo.
John Legend writes his own
music. John Legend writes his music. So yeah,
we know. So we know this. We can tell. But I'm not saying that all celebrities don't write, because I mean, Neo probably have gotten some songs from some other people and performed it. John Legend have probably gotten some songs from other people. So they all use the ghostwriters. But the question is, what song has Beyonce written herself that we all know that's a hit today? That's just what I'm asking.
That's a Google question. I'm sure it's some out there.
So I think Google asked that question.
About 8 years ago, she got called out by Linda Perry for taking songwriting credits for songs she didn't write.
Ooh. See, I forgot about that call out, bro. So that's a big question to ask. If she was sitting in front of me, I would ask her.
Yeah, if she's getting called out by actual songwriters, it's like, can you believe that she wrote anything that she claims she wrote? Because
like that's a Google question.
Yeah,
like I said, I'm sure she wrote something, but no, I'm not gonna say she was able to write all her music.
But that's just it. He just Googled it. I told you, Google asking the same question too. Beyonce, what song have you wrote that we know it's a hit? Like
I mean, but I'm sure she's wrote some hits. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure she wrote something.
I never really say she didn't. I'm just wondering what.
Right.
You know, that's a big what right there. Like, do we know anything that you actually written? I don't even want to look that up.
It's hard to say. When you get into like pop music, it's so manufactured and there's so many chefs in the kitchen.
Yeah, it's too much to dissect, like you said. We got to fact check a lot of different boxes here, and I think that's going. You know what? Ooh. What do you think would happen if I ask that question on Twitter?
Oh, you're the Beyonce fanatics are going to come after you, but who cares? I mean, regardless if she writes the songs or not, she goes, she performs them. They're hits.
Okay, so the only thing it says is. It says that Beyonce is in fact 100% involved in the songwriting process, but that don't mean she wrote the song. That just means she's a part of it.
She's sitting with a songwriter, giving them ideas, talking about her personal life, and then the songwriter is going to write songs based off what the input she gives her.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of artists do that. You know.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it.
I mean, the two sisters, Chloe and Bailey. Beyonce write for them. You see what I'm saying? So she definitely writes music.
Well, the thing is, though, what has she wrote for herself?
It won't say. It just says she a part of the process.
Haley had both of them, I believe, have said they have performed songs written by Beyonce. Right. Now they have said that, but again, if you get called out 8 years ago and there's really no fact checks on that, who am I to believe that you actually wrote that song for these girls just because they said it? I mean, you're a multi-billionaire, baby. You might have just paid them a little bit of cash.
I mean,
just say I paid.
I don't know. I know she's super talented. I think somebody that's that talented can write music at some point. You know what I mean? Especially before you became super rich.
You know what?
All you had was that pen and the pad.
Since you said that, bro, I'm finna make Mike mad real quick. I'm finna mention a name that he probably gonna go on a rant about. But
what?
You know, just because you super handsome don't mean you know how to play football.
Oh, you're gonna bring up Jimmy G. You're gonna bring up Jimmy G.
Oh, you don't like
I'm just saying, listen to what he just said. Just because you're super talented and all that, it's like saying just because you super handsome, you can't make no mistake on the football field.
You know what? I gotta give like some defense of Jimmy. This whole thing coming out from the Patriots, like pretty much calling him a bitch. He can't do this, he can't do that. We saw this year how tough Jimmy can be. That man played through injuries to get the job done. When it comes to the Patriots in that scenario and how he's getting called out for not playing with a hurt shoulder that wasn't even his throwing arm, the guy was protecting himself. He was protecting his future career. He wasn't going to be the starter of the Patriots. He knew he was still playing to get a contract elsewhere. So he had to protect his longevity in football. And for Julian Edelman to say that, some people play for the memories, not the money, shut the fuck up. Edelman was not playing for the memories. Edelman got paid just as well. So don't even go out there and talk shit on the next player and try and make yourself look best.
The Edelman comment, I have yet to retract on that because it's like I've seen it, I heard it, but it's just like, okay. But the Martellus Bennett comment, it's like, I get you, buddy. At that moment in time, you had another quarterback. Matter of fact, all three of their quarterbacks was injured. And for Jimmy to pull out and you send another quarterback that's worse than you to go out there and play, I mean, you're a little bitch at that point, bro. Like, for real.
Yeah, in that moment you are. But, I mean, having him on the team that we love, I've seen that when it comes down to it, he's tough. And players will play for him. And he has not shown me as a Niner that he's a bitch. That he would go out there and play through injuries, play hurt, and try and get the job done.
Now, I know you and him, y'all go back and forth because he can't stand Jimmy G.
He can't stand Jimmy neither.
I'm in the middle on Jimmy. I'm to the point where he did good for the team. He's done bad for the team.
Shaq Club don't change your mind.
No,
for the same Mike defending Jimmy G. I don't think over there.
I've always been in the middle on Jimmy. There's times where I've loved him. There's times where I've hated him. But at this point, it's time to move on.
Bro, you should hear him. You should see him on Twitter back and forth with the other podcasts, bro.
I can't with Shant Club. But he is, I've always said that he is the firefighter and the arsonist at the same time. I get quarterbacks will have good games, quarterbacks will have bad games. Right. Jimmy G is that quarterback who has a good and bad game in the same game. It's just it's inconsistent. And it's time. We're moving on. I'm happy for what he did to the team. He brought us back to a point of being relevant because the Niners were dumpster fire for a while there. And Jimmy came in, he won us a lot of games. He took us to a Super Bowl. He took us to 2 NFC championships. You can't deny that when he's on that field, he can win games. I know it's a team sport, and I know we've surrounded him with talent to get those wins. So I think this year for Jimmy, whatever team he lands on, it's going to be a prove-it year. It's going to be like, okay, did we protect him? Did we help him out? Or does he have talent to win games in this league?
See, but that's what me and Matt be going back and forth because I be trying to tell him, hey, What about the good stuff the man did for the team? That's what I be trying to get him to understand.
He has done good, and I can admit that. I mean, you just can't say, "Oh, the team was built to kind of win," and Jimmy was there, but that's not true. Because when Jimmy was off the field and we had backup quarterbacks, they weren't getting the job done. Jimmy
Talking about, man. I get that. I get that though, Mike. I understand that. But when last time y'all ever got rewarded for doing good?
No, I get it. He wasn't great. He wasn't the franchise quarterback we were looking for. And we all think and hope that's going to be Trey, but I mean, Jimmy, in my opinion, he's that middle of the ground quarterback. He's not top 10. He's not bottom 10. He's right in the middle.
Here's my big issue with Jimmy. I'm being real with you right now, Mike. About 10 years ago, my other Niner buddy, like I said, we talk every season. We don't miss a beat when it comes to Niner football. We on the phone constantly with each other every game.
Yeah.
But so he got me to start looking at front office, right?
Okay.
So I start looking at the money. I start looking at the draft picks. I start looking at like the GM side of things, like how do they operate?
Yeah.
And what pissed me off was how quickly we gave this man a contract. So
I mean, it's also looking a lot more likely too, because it's looking like Watson minimum going to be a year.
Yeah. And what
it's looking like Watson might end up getting suspended, or he's gonna have to sit down.
No, he's gonna get a year. He's gonna get a year.
Man, I don't know what is going on. You know what I'm saying? Like,
two of the women right now are suing the Texans.
Yeah,
that whole thing is crazy, man. For real.
That's what they should have went after to begin with, and then bring in Watson into the mix. I really feel like they should have went after the Texans first. If they would have did that, I think that whole situation would have died out a lot quicker.
This is the crazy thing about it, though. You don't know these guys. You don't know how they are. You don't know their demeanor. You don't know how they act. And one thing about rich guys, sometimes they don't like being told no. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man. It's just crazy to have so many different allegations against you like that.
That's the thing I've been going with this is his last press conference that he had a few weeks ago. One reporter flat out asked him, "Why should we take your word over dozens of women?"
Right.
What over dozens?
Mm.
And his answer was it was PR BS that his lawyer told him to say, but it brought up a good point. It's true. It's like one versus dozens. This isn't 1, 2, 3, even 4. This was 26 women now.
You know why? Because people are obsessed with celebrities. Yep. And that's what ends up happening. You can have a celebrity and he could be the nastiest dog out there, but he's still gonna have fans and still gonna have followers. That's not gonna believe that he did that stuff simply because they're just obsessed with his celebrity.
Yeah. My thing is this though, man. Like, why did the Texans engage into that? Like, you just kept feeding this man different women, and matter of fact, you're the one paying for the room, you're the one paying for the massage. And hold
on. Have that came out? The Texans got something to do with that?
That's why this lawsuit against the Texans happened, because a few weeks ago, probably about a month now, the New York Times did a separate investigation, and they found 66 women to come forward and say that the Texans had a membership at a high-end sports club in Texas that the masseuses would get called into. They would pay for everything. They would have NDAs on deck for these women to sign. So the Texans knew what's going on.
Okay, and they knew what was going on now.
Now, here's the bigger kicker now. I understand Watson is in deep water right now, but the minute this man asks for a trade, all this comes out about him. But yet, the Texans have had this high-end membership for God knows how long, but no other Texan players or personnel has ever been in trouble. As long as you're going
to play for us, I'm going to cover it up. If you're going to leave us, now I'm going to put all your business out.
But so why they didn't hit DeAndre Hopkins like that? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, I understand he's a young man. Deshaun Watson was a young man at that time or whatever. It kept going on. He probably did some stupid shit in there, made his little mistakes. I don't know what he did. We don't know what he did. Only he knows what he did. And those women only know what he did. I'm pretty sure some of them are like, damn, I feel so bad that I'm probably lying on this man. Or some of them be like, yeah, he needs to be, you know what I mean? So it's different emotions and feelings going towards him. So it's hard to not look at everything.
But this the thing right here. You got 26, 27, whatever women coming at you with different allegations. Okay, bro, cool. 2 or 3 of them women might be telling the truth. You see what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying.
It's like, goddamn, dude, 27 women. And like Mike was just saying, why the fuck are we believing you over 27 women?
Hold on, Mike. Isn't the 2 women suing the Texans the 2 that he did not pay off?
Yeah. I think one of them, one of the women that's suing the Texans, she's not part of the lawsuits against Watson. So it's someone else completely different now.
See, that's crazy. Now everything was at Watson at first, and now it's towards the Texans. So we know he's gonna get some kind of punishment for being involved into the whole thing.
Oh, it's bad. So, question I'm gonna pose here is, at what point do the Browns reconsider this whole thing? So say the punishment comes out.
No. That's too deep. Well, he got guaranteed money, don't he?
Yeah.
That's too. But I wonder, so say the suspension comes out, it's indefinite, minimum of 1 year, meaning he needs to apply every year to try and get reinstated. So year goes by. That's now 2 years this man hasn't played football. Is he going to be able to perform to the level the Browns want him to perform?
Well,
and he goes, he applies to get reinstated, denied, gets another year. At some point, the Browns need to kind of look into how this can play out in the future, because they still have a chance to get out of this.
Well, it all depends on it. If you're looking at it that way, then I'm going to go ahead on the limb and say it depends on the stipulations of that suspension or whatever punishment. If he gets a year and still can work with the team, then I don't see him losing football at all. But if he gets a year or 2, then have to wait for reinstatement and has to be away from the team, then he has to find a way to keep himself in football shape.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough call for them. Mm-hmm. I mean, the hearing going on right now, it's looking like the hearings are going to go another day with the arbitrator, but the NFL already said that they went in and their recommendation was an indefinite suspension with a minimum of 1 year.
Yeah, I think they stick to their guns.
NFL found stuff. They know that this is bad. They found some stuff.
All right, y'all. So we finna go ahead on and get up out of here, man. Once again, I'm your boy Kato. That's Mav, and that was Mike. And this is the Convo at Mav and Kato, man. Episode 92. You know, we appreciate y'all and thank y'all for anybody that check out this podcast. And on that note, we out.
Yeah, that is little girl. Now don't you wanna take trips all across the world? Don't you wanna go shop till you tear them all up? They better all your friends about how much I spoiled ya. I know you see them hating on the new way you swagging. I know you see them hating on the new life you living. I know you see them hating on the new which you pushing. But we gon' have them hating on the new crib you living. Most people be hating on shit that don't make sense. When we gon' have them hating on your brand new success. Like T.I. said, you can have whatever you like. So won't you come and hop up in my brand new G5? Then we could take a flight all the way to Sicily.